Hey yo, everybody. Hope you're having a good day. Let's get the show on the road. Hi to everybody. I can go through the chat, although today it's not really cooperating all that well, just kind of doing iffy things. Hello to everybody from Mama to JR to Alex to Christoph, of course. Muhammad there, I saw Joe. Hi. Hello, everybody. Who else do we have? Who did I miss? Hello, Leo. Hi. Hello, Piotr. Hi. Hope you all have a good evening. Let's get this show on the road. I mean, most of you probably noticed the redness of today. In fact, I'm pretty certain we had trading being held a couple of times there at least. I'm not going to be surprised if that's the case. Now, we obviously opened up with a severe gap, right? So that's not cool. No one really likes gaps. It doesn't matter whether your portfolio is aimed to the downside. By the way, yeah, Rich. Shout out to Rich and shout out to all of you who celebrate Halloween. Happy Halloween. Exactly. I absolutely forgot to say that. Thank you for mentioning and reminding me, Rich. I tremendously appreciate that. Vasily, hello. Good to see you here, Vasily. And yeah, so we all noticed the gap, and if everybody expect me to open up this live with saying, run around like headless chickens, and then the end is coming, then that's not the case. In fact, those of you who know what gaps mean and how the market treats, especially gaps that are oftentimes created by some sort of knee-jerk reaction to the market, some sort of, whether it's a story, whether it's usually is it's something that is based more upon an event rather than a technical element. The technical element could be sort of delayed already as is, and then we end up eventually somehow having the right event that push over the dominoes, and we see what happens. Now, we've been ready to see some redness for some time now. None of this surprises us. More so, we already spoke about these ranges. Unsurprisingly so, those who are more sharp-eyed and hawk-eyed noticed we landed uncoincidentally on a level we're familiar with. Of course, there'll be some discrepancy. It's not going to be perfect. Some slippage in the market, 57.20.84. I think we just mentioned it the other day. So all in all, nothing all that surprising. And for those who are hyper-focused on the day-to-day price action, will of course miss out and not realize that all in all we haven't done anything. I told you we're probably going to be retesting and revisiting some of these levels again and again and again, especially in what we would all consider the short-term duration. All right. So yeah, a lot of people are doubling down, of course. That's definitely happening right there. So it will be wise to expect a potential correction of that gap, relying on our familiarity with the behavior of the market. Beyond the familiarity of the behavior of the market, let's look objectively at what the momentum is showing us and try to be a bit more objective about things. Now, normally, you would expect most time frames to appear as if that's it, we squeezed out all the negative momentum and we're ready to correct to the upside, especially with this gap as presented. All of it's supposed to make sense. Well, no. Well, not this time around. This time around, we've completed this entire movement to the downside, basically, started retesting some of these supports that we're familiar with. And no, it's not showing as if we're, full of energy to go crazy bananas. Yes, we are in overbought territory, but remember that there's so much we can squeeze out of this, and this is basically maybe indicative of 5750, which was another layer, another range that was created by another gap. More so, we have this diagonal to test that we are kind of, it's pretty close, so let's give it a 5730-ish, so we're kind of in the range anyways. But, well, how strong is that momentum? We know we're going to go to the larger time frames and try to discern that from the bigger picture, right? So let's go 30 minutes. 30 minutes is actually rather bearish, being in oversold territory, but at the same time, at face value, it is gaining some bullish momentum, but all that bullish momentum is able to translate is for almost this mitigation of this process, and thus giving you the test of that lower level, right, of the range. We're having a current trend that we're moving within the framework of, right? And what this did, in fact, I would argue that it expanded the range, right? Because the linear regression, as it has newer lows, and especially in this instance, because the standard deviation is determined by the low end, obviously, as you can see, not by the high end, not by the overbought territory. So thus it even expanded it, and you can see it even sort of glitched out of the expected range. And I'm not going to be surprised if we're going to see some of that correction that we're potentially about to see here, bring this trend tightened up a little bit, and it's not going to seem as if we're all that much out of bounds. I'm unable to draw the line on the trajectory that I want, but you get the idea. It still will retain to what it seems to be a downwards momentum and downwards trend. But again, the reason we understand this is that what we're seeing on the 30 minutes is basically a smaller scale 45 minutes, which means we're far deeper in the mud than we realize by being in oversold territory and now just starting to ride that wave or impulse, whatever that's going to be. Again, 1 hour is very indicative. 1 hour is a very strong time frame, knowing that we are basically we are within the last hour of the market. We're just about to close the market very, very soon. That means we don't have all that much. Even that entire hour is quite indicative. Basically, what we're seeing here, that we're probably going to remain more bearish than bullish within that final hour. Even if we're going to get a little bit of, some bursts moving to the upside that we've seen on the smaller time frame, and even those are not all that strong. So looks like we're gonna, unless some piece of news or some strong reaction or some action that will be initiated by somebody on purpose, so something manual that will happen basically, we'll probably end up parking around that 57.20 vicinity. I'm not going to be surprised if that's going to be maybe 57.30. As we said, that's kind of the top that I can see within this final hour, unless we're going to have something more substantial, right? 4 hourly, I've mentioned this before. I said this probably is going to turn around and going to become a lot more bearish. Surprise, surprise, we got exactly what we've expected, right? It was more of a fake out, if you will, right? And a more or less this actual bearish trend, or so it appears to be, but it is based upon the adjacent time frames that are indicative of the actual trend. If you are attentive, and basically you're seeing that the smaller time frame, the larger time frame, are showing that you are moving within the range that is moving downwards. Good for you that you had some relief during that period, which came about in this form of this bullish correction, which basically moved you more to the side, if anything, and then subsequently resulted with the collapse of that momentum regardless, right? Because it is what it is at the end of the day. Now, we are still very bearish, right? So at face value, we're still very bearish at the daily. In fact, overturned like we expected, remaining in oversold territory, basically retesting that, sort of hitting in, retesting that 20% and breaking back down, keeping a hold of that bearish trend. All right, so that is the daily. Now let's look at the weekly. Weekly, just as we've expected, to start overturning right here. We have the convergence of the forces right below the 80%, which is not all that surprising. Let's see how this will develop. Of course, once this week finalizes, we're going to see the advancement of this process, and we might still see another breakout into overbought territory, giving us some form of a correction, maybe some form of a shoulder. We spoke about this. There are multiple head and shoulders patterns that are hidden within the structure. It is because an inevitability. It's basically the harmonics that are hidden inside, and the overarching larger harmonics are the ones to dictate the location of these head and shoulders patterns and various other patterns that exist. No, we don't advocate here for the cup and handle. That shit is just made up, and just, yeah, don't get me started on this. The thing is, we said the monthly didn't really change all that much, since the month has not yet locked in, and we said this month might end up locking in very, very differently as we were going throughout the month. I was telling you and warning you that although it seems I shouldn't have deleted that probably is the word gap that I had there. Anyway, so I was giving you and hinting how this will overturn as we develop towards the end of the month, and this candlestick, the last final candlestick, might not even close as we've started being all that green. given the fact of the matter that we basically are done with this candlestick. It's going to get locked in today. So as you can imagine, it is far more probable to end up getting locked in this red formation, indicating a potential reversal. Potential does not mean it is, but what makes it far more potential and likely is that formation that we're seeing on a larger time frame, and which is indicative of a correction. Why? Because that's how the cycles work. It's not about gut feelings, it's just how the math works. It's basically, imagine you go somewhere on a full tank of gas, and at some point, if you don't stop to fuel up, guess what will happen? You will run out of gas. Hello, Murad. Good to see you there. Как дела? Not bad, not bad. I can't complain, feeling a lot better. Thank you for asking. I appreciate it. Still living in a war zone, so could be better. Still having some of our hostages stuck in Gaza, hopefully still alive and well, hopefully, or enough to be saved. So, yeah, bittersweet, always bittersweet, sadly. But it is what it is. I'm not going to pretend. It is what it is. Oh, looks like I'm having my favorite number of viewers, 33. 33 is my lucky number, or at least one of my favorite ones. Very, very nice number. I really like 33. So we're 33 viewers here. Alrighty, cool. Tremendously appreciate all of you ladies and gents who chose to show up and enjoy and hang out with us this afternoon, evening, morning, whatever you have, wherever you're at. Nothing really changed here. As we said, we're going to need to develop the quarter for us to have any results and any changes with this regard. So no new changes. We're basically hyper-focused right now on the monthly closing in and starting to revert to the downside, giving us a similar behavior in all the other smaller time frames and more, well, especially when we talk about anything that is ranges between the monthly and the daily. Of course, going to overturn back and forth, because as we're going to be making our way down potentially, we will have some corrective movements to the upside. So that's just normal. That's part of the process. Alrighty, I think we've covered that, and let's do questions and tickers and all sorts of fun stuff as we usually do. Let me just delete some of that junk that we have on the screen so you guys can see better. Right, alrighty. Let's clean some of that stuff. And we're gonna talk then, I hope. I'm gonna throw stuff at me. Feel free. Alrighty, what is this? Why is that hidden? Oh, it's partial? Why did I do that though? That's interesting. Check it out later. Alrighty, so we are questions. Microsoft. Whoa. Alrighty, before I get to that, so yeah, hello to anybody and everybody who I didn't say hello to because I missed and I'm a moron. My bad. Apologies. I'm recovering from intense morning. Yeah, well, yeah, kind of. I mean, it's more or less stopping, if anything. I would say just having a bit of a relief period, if you will, right? Gap, what a chore. Yeah, absolutely. This gap is in the worst possible spot and the worst possible time. Still has high probability of getting closed, we understand that, but the market is far more bearish than bullish, so we might actually let this be for a while. I mean, mark my words, like I said, it's not certain, but could very much be. There is likelihood here. If we're really going to throw numbers around, it could be somewhere around, I would give it about 30% that this is going to be left alone for a while, which is decent if you think about it. Helmet ready. I missed that one. Oh my God, that's a good one. That's a good one. Oh my God, how did I miss that one? I'm so sorry for bursting in laughter, but that was a good one. I love that. As I say, yeah, people who don't like it here, they can grow up or get a helmet, whichever they like, or can, don't let the door break your ass, or on your way out, or let it. I don't care. Sorry. We're not gonna sugarcoat. Like I love how people criticize the stuff that I say. If I really would have wanted to make the algorithm like me and just get a whole bunch of views and all that, I would just be bullish all the way and accommodating whatever you guys want to hear and whatever's gonna make you smile and just pump up whatever. I'm sorry to say the unpopular opinion, to give you the hot take, if you will, but it is what it is. I'm just showing you what the chart. It's not even my take. It's the true take of the market, right? So whoever doesn't like it, like I said, get a helmet or grow up or enjoy the ass kicking you out. Enjoy the kick on the ass on the door kicking you out. So I don't really care. Sorry. We're here. This is a big boy, big girl market, right? It's for mature people, or at least for people who are able to be mature about it. If you can't, boo-hoo. Welcome to the amazing spooky Halloween stock market, right? I'm actually under the theme, right? So spooky Halloween special. Maybe I should change the title. I should make it like a Halloween special. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right? Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what? You know what? You know what? Let's. Am I allowed to? Is that something that's gonna happen? Right? Is that am I gonna get penalized for this? Right? Or am I not? Let's see. Will the algorithm like my live more because I'm gonna write Halloween in my thingy? Let's see. Let's see if I can do it real quick here. Don't worry, I didn't forget. We're gonna check out Microsoft. Don't worry. Do not worry. We will do everything. Yeah. Stream settings. Where's that stuff? Stream health. No, not what I was looking for. Um, where's that? Oh my God! Can I be more of an idiot somehow? I wonder how many people will drop just because I sit quiet for a second. It's probably gonna be. Give me a second, boys and girls. Be patient. I really want to do this. Okay, so let's do it. All right, I think I got it. I think I finally got it. Let's just save it. Alrighty. That's an amusing one. Why am I not seeing the chat? What's going on with this? Yeah, chat is now refusing to work. Alrighty, let's get back to this. Everybody dropped off. How many people do I have? 4 left? Everybody left? All right, so we want to look at NVIDIA. Is going entrance now. I don't know, Murat, stop asking me that question. I cannot give you that answer. First of all, I am looking for, I'm going to base my buying, which again, you should not base your buying based upon that. You should base your buying upon what you think is right? But I'm more looking at the overall grand correction on the grand market, right? On the indices, and then individual assets subsequently finding their individual lows, and then maybe starting, well, not maybe, starting to buy. But so I'm not looking this from the point of view whether Nvidia is a good buy individually right now. I'm more so waiting to see the overall market reach what I would consider to be a bottom. We're gonna take a look at Nvidia, of course. Honestly, with all due respect, with the great damage that was done today, all in all, this is a nothing burger. This is just yeah, this is nothing. Even compared to Nvidia. So Nvidia particularly is showing a lot more strength than normally. I would expect to see from something like Nvidia under the conditions and the whole mess with SMCI and everything. So actually doing pretty well, actually holding up pretty well. The big boys you can see are kind of holding up, not all that bad, right? Again, if you want to compare to something like Palantir, right? If you really want to be objective about this, let's see how Tesla's doing, for example. Not all that bad either, right? With all due respect. So, considering everything, not all that bad, you know. Pum 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 pum. We want to look at Microsoft. That was the actual request. Where. Let's go. We need, no, I do need these two, please. Thank you. Why not? I would love it if we're gonna go to, no, think I just can do that here. Let's just go to MSFT and take a look. Take a look-see. 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 What we're gonna see. Right. Wait, are we? Yes, we are, of course. I mean, it is quite, not surprisingly so, similarly to the rest of everything, is far more bearish than bullish. It does still have some bullish momentum in the system in various places like the weekly, but even that is more of a sideways price action. Basically, this will not give you anything good, and you are moving to the downside. This you have in crossover. We spoke about this, I think. So you're bearish. Microsoft downside, how much? I think I've mentioned the supports and the resistance levels prior to. You obviously have somewhere around here the I would argue that's just kind of 400-ish range. All of this range, it's the 400 and its slippage. You have here what would seem to be around 370 and probably 360. I think we've mentioned that. And 350, 340, I remember. You basically have about every $10, you have a support and a resistance that will be like a stepping stone and a process and a retest of your downwards price action, give or take about every $10 all the way from 400 to 300, about every $10, and here and there you're gonna have also some weaker supports and resistances, but generally speaking, it seems like you're moving towards 350 there. Okay, that is more or less the direction of Microsoft in the medium-ish, short, whatever you want to define it, depends on you, range, and it looks far, like I said, more bearish, but it will still follow the narrative of the market, meaning if the market does recover, you're going to see a lot of these things sort of, overturn and change, but it does not seem to be the case. It just seems to be like we're building up towards a rather gradual build up towards a breakdown, and eventually a breakdown of another step to the downside, which basically we are moving within a range right now, which is S1, S2, S3. So through supports basically three forces that could be used as supports and resistances. Yes, we could also use as the S1 landing on the ceiling, so to speak, using it as a support as well. That can happen as well, even if temporarily so. But it seems like we're moving more to the side right now, and with an inkling to the downside more than anything else on Microsoft. That's just to be objective, which is not surprising, because as we said, we're seeing something very similar with the vastness of the market. Right? Right. Now, yeah, a bit of a relief correction. We're doing this a bit of a flat range there, so not surprising. Bit of a cool off, if you want to call it that. Oh, so that is Microsoft. Now, let's see. Do you think market crash started, or are you expecting another correction before that? I would argue that the market will have a very severe reaction to the election results one way or another. So, and there will be plenty of volatility, a lot of knee-jerk reaction to the whole event. So I would argue that let's first go through that process and then see how it all plays out. Yeah, that is that. Subscribe, hit the bell. Yeah, right. I'm here for the free food and hot women. Rich, crazy man as always. Subscribe, hit the like, ring the bell. Absolutely. Thank you, Mama. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, boys and girls, those who don't mind, it's actually free. So yeah, I actually appreciate it if you do. It's actually just a free button on YouTube, and it really helps my channel tremendously and the community and everything. Because remember, my channel is being like YouTube is kind of refusing to monetize my channel properly, and it seems making life difficult on me extra hard because I'm an Israeli YouTuber, not just an American one, I guess. But and it's not surprising. We've already seen, various platforms make it harder for content creators from various places because they feel like they're entitled to do this and various things. And I'm not going to go down that path, but it seems like other content creators didn't have the difficulties and the hurdles that I have to go through to just have the same sort of conditions. It seems. I'm just gonna say that. Maybe I'm exaggerating. Maybe it's in my mind. Maybe I'm, an ass. I don't know. I'm just saying how I feel it, right? Okay, Greg, are the job data really like that relevant anymore? If AI pushed by industry, then of course, then are the job loss because uh, replaced by AI? Wow, next level. That is a wonderful question, actually. Again, why are you doing this? Why are you asking the best questions? I mean, it's a simple question at face value, but no, the answer to this is very prolonged. I don't know if I'll have the time for it today, but I definitely am planning to do a hangout on the weekend for my members. Those of you who are Patreon members, those who don't know, you can sign up for Patreon, $10 a month, supporting me, supporting the channel. But more so, you get a whole bunch of perks from Zoom calls with Tom and myself and the community, and a whole bunch of perks there. You also get some hangouts with me, which we talk about and discuss, whatever topic at hand that we feel that is necessary to discuss. Sometimes it could be, the various commodities. Sometimes it's the market sentiment, some psychology, some technical. Sometimes it's all of them together, whichever is relevant. Sometimes just philosophy, psychology, and sometimes just hanging out, right? And we'll also do that pretty much on the daily basis in open forum. That will give you access to that wonderful perk and many other perks that I don't remember right now because I'm sorry, I'm a shitty salesman. I'm not here to sell anything. Like it, cool. Don't like it, no problem. It's all good. You have the free membership sort of partition, which gives you quite a bit as well. A lot of good, valuable resources, great community, and so forth and so forth. And it's good to buy. Yeah, we've covered that. I don't know. That's up to you. We're going to look at Nvidia. So you decide you decide whether it's good to buy Nvidia. I'm waiting for Nvidia to, I'm waiting for the market to show me that it's the bottom, and then I'm going to start buying individual assets. These will correlate with one and the other, one way or the other. Basically, what will happen is that the bottom on these assets will be the best choice. Those of you who don't know how to trade, do not know how to do proper technical analysis, shouldn't be doing that, right? It's the same thing as you're not going to be just randomly seeing a helicopter saying, I'm going to figure this out. No, you cannot. It's difficult. Trust me on this one. You can ask my students. It's very difficult. Even students who finish the whole course don't immediately become all-knowing, and it takes a lot of practice and actually being dedicated to become good at this, right? We've discussed this. So, I forgot what I wanted to say. My brain goes bananas. Today's a bananas day. What the Polish boy has noted, wait for the correction, around $9,700. First of all, exactly, Piotr, very good. Let's first look at that, the price range reached the $100, right, which we know where we have the 110, 100, and what was it, 90, 90, 90, 90? It's 110. 191.87. That's kind of the range we want to look at. This is S3. This range, all of it, yes. It's not just a line, it's a range, yeah. I know it's difficult to comprehend, but it is what it is. Deal with it. S2 and S3. S1, sorry. S3. S1, support 2, support 3, and we lifted off of that 115, 118 range, which we were testing earlier. Obviously, we ended up rallying with the market, but my argument is we're going to trace that. But more so, we're going to continue then forward on with the rest of the market as we're going to be tumbling slowly. Nvidia will probably not going to be falling as rapidly as some of the other ones. Let's see if the gap is going to be filled. Let's see how long this correction will be, whether this is the beginning of the crash. Maybe it's not. We'll see. It's very early to say, but we do know that our actual range that we are expecting to see more probable than not, based upon the structure that we discussed various times here, right, is that correction that we see on the monthly correlates to everything else, and once it starts being painful, it's going to be painful. I do expect the market to kind of dwell within these ranges for a while, so it's not going to be, that's it, we touch the number and we can go down and drop to zero and the market's dead tomorrow. Not how it works. Okay, so it's going to be a very gradual, slow process of corrections, ups and downs, and the market is going to make you seasick quite a bit, basically. It's going to be very, very volatile, very unpleasant, up and down, but overall result will be downwards price action. That's what we're seeing with the various, assets from the tech sector and in general. That is that. Quite reddish, I would say, today, boys and girls. That is that. Where? I missed something. Wait, I missed a whole chunk. Nvidia we sent some job data reason for the slip today. Could be. I mean, at this point, the indicators have been screaming it so loud, and we're just trying to figure out which of the excuses will be the it. Check the oil. Iran is getting ready. Oil jumped back from 65 to 70 range, but Ori, very, very good point that you point this out. Look, but we know that there are a lot more catalysts when it comes to the oil price. Things like, for example, the oil reserves, the sentiment, the geopolitical situation. Oil can skyrocket right now from 70 to 80 within 4 seconds. This is not a big deal for oil. We've been everything that happened lately was able to sort of stifle that bullish momentum that we generated over several months. But remember, just like the same way when you go out of home and your destination is work, even if the exit that you're about planning to take, it's blocked, you're just gonna end up taking another exit, and still your destination is still work, so you're gonna get there anyways. And more so, I do think that very smart analysts such as Jamie Dimon of JP Morgan is the man is brilliant. And as much as a lot of people like to pretend because his narrative doesn't suit their portfolio's needs, right, or their retirement plan, as unpleasant as it is, Jamie Dimon is brilliant. He oftentimes talks about various effects in the market that oftentimes people just don't realize are even there, so much in advance that by the time they happen, they don't even remember he said this. Very calculated man, and he's mentioned how he forecasts prices of oil still go back to 100 and further. And in fact, he was talking about the prices of 150. And I'm not going to argue for 150 yet, although I do think it's quite possible, and even higher. Yes, conditions are that horrible. The further out you look, the scarier it looks. Basically, we are potentially looking at a set of 2 very bad, very difficult years ahead of us. Very difficult. On one hand, we will be finally taking the medicine that we need. The system will be getting the medicine it needs, but no one promises you the medicine will be tasting like strawberries. If anything, it's going to be very, very unpleasant, and the process might actually end up being far longer than just 2 years. Best case scenario, it's going to take only 2 years, okay? That's just to be objective. We haven't even properly started anything yet, and everybody's already running around like headless chickens. So, And still, it's phenomenal how well the market and the retail trader has been trained. People are again buying the dip blindly without thinking twice. They're like, yeah, of course, no problem, all good. In my opinion, that's just insanity in its finest. Righty. So Iran ready. What do you mean? Good question. What does it mean? Very good question. I think Iran is ready to attack Israel, which they've said openly that Iran are planning to attack Israel. And regardless of the average person in Iran that is running around and waving Israeli flags and is all positive, we're being launched hundreds of rockets at us, and this is not child's play. People die. Okay, you cannot shrug it off and say, big deal, not a lot of rockets hit. No, that's not how it works. Another country should not be launching rockets at another country and expecting nothing to happen afterwards. That's not how shit works. I'm sorry to say. So I'm probably going to get demonetized for cursing so much. My God. Or some other excuse they will find to dislike me. But the reality is that this is an abnormal circumstance. This is an abnormal situation, abnormal behavior, barbaric behavior, that is. And it is an existential war for us. We have to be realistic about things. And I do think Iran is ready to attack Israel. And if Iran will attack Israel, Israel will eventually will be forced to show them that we're done playing around and attack their oil infrastructure. Attacking oil infrastructure will make oil prices skyrocket within seconds. So I think that's what Ori is saying. That's my thought here. Maybe I'm wrong and he was trying to say something more specific, but I'm not going to be surprised that is the case. What the Polish boy has, yes, okay, we've said that, right. And it's done. Thank you, Next Level. I tremendously appreciate that. NVIDIA. I mean, we've said. There's not much there to be said. It's, Piotr, boys and girls, these things are slow. Until you see this change, if this does not change, I don't mind, you can ask me every other day, but it's not going to change. It is still very bearish. Right, on the grand scheme of things. Yes, we were able to postpone and sort of delay the whole process and mitigate the pain a little bit, but I mean, look, it's not what I feel. It's what the technicals are showing, right? It seems as if we're kind of, squeezing the bejesus as we can moving into earnings, and then we probably gonna move into a correction based upon the market itself and everything else surrounding the whole situation. And again, NVIDIA, all it can do is open a parachute as it's falling and fall slower, basically. That's the best case scenario for NVIDIA, which probably will be the case. Hey guys, hello Alexander, good to see you. Hope you're having a good evening there. Greg, I know you have Plug as a play. What do you think of Exelon and nuclear energy in general? I do like, I'm not sure about, well, let's see. I mean, let's see what we're seeing on EXC, to be more precise. But I do like the idea of nuclear energy because we do get things better with time. It has a lot of potential. I don't even think we've tapped into the entire array of solutions we have with the byproducts of nuclear energy, right? Depleted uranium. I think there are so many other ways we can deal with that stuff that we don't know, and maybe even find actual practical use for it somehow. Could be completely cool. But yeah, I really do like. Look, energy is the main resource of humanity. We cannot do anything without energy, and we need a lot of it, and we're gonna need more of it. And I do think nuclear has a lot of potential. I think because of where we are and with some of the narrative that's being created around the battery sector and just the energy sector in general, a lot of progress is being maybe held back, and I would argue that it's not great. And some of these companies have great potential, just that you need to have the foresight to be able to look forward far enough to say, okay, right now these companies are still in their diapers, and we're going to need all of them, all energy forms, probably. Maybe we're going to slightly, move away from oil slowly, hopefully, but that is a whole different complicated conversation about all individually, right? But uranium plays, hydrogen plays, all of that sort of stuff. Yes, I'm a big proponent of, but I'm also prepared that these plug, I'm looking to play a short term play with this, maybe get to like a 10. If I'm really, really, if it's really gonna go well with the energy sector and everything around plug itself, I'm maybe looking at $10, right? At the end of the ride. Maybe. And that's like if things really played out well. And that just, that is, I'm giving you the center of the range that might end up taking a long time, right? We're talking about, months out and maybe even a year long trade. Easy, right? I'm not even kidding. Um, and potentially readjusted as we go. But yes, I don't mind that these prices. I find it insane not to buy something as of a good resource and potential energy, um, energy resource for us later down the line. And there's a lot of conversation between the generation of blue hydrogen and green hydrogen, and which those of you understand differs quite significantly. So, and well, there are a lot of proponents who do not like the idea of blue hydrogen and thus shrug off hydrogen altogether because they say, well, it's almost like cheating because the hydrogen is not truly generated from renewable resources, and that's not what they like. And I say this is still another better form of energy, one way or another, and especially more so important about the applications, right? Because even if we're going to go solar and even if we're going to go batteries and all that wonderful stuff, yeah, I struggle to see us building shipping containers, tankers, that are capable enough using just solar and battery. I'm sorry. Hydrogen is far more probable for that purpose. Okay, for that application, if you will, and various other applications that people are shrugging off and realizing hydrogen could pose high potential for. And yes, nibbling. I'm nibbling every time I have a little bit of leftover money. I'm gonna buy more, nibble more. I was planning to buy more on Plug just the other week, so thank you for reminding me. I'm probably gonna do that within the upcoming days, maybe next week already. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna buy a little bit more. I do like the play. I don't mind holding up for a little bit. I've seen one of my friends here in the community have been holding Plug for quite a long time, and it does show the potential. It seems as if it's being held back. And when an asset is being held back for a long time like that, whenever it does rally, it explodes. And especially when we're talking about energy, and energy likes to move in tandem as a sector-wide thing, if you will, right? Those who are familiar with the phenomena know that oftentimes various sectors move in tandem in solidarity, we call that, right? So not going to be all that surprising, let alone the individual play that we have building up on Plug for quite a long period of time. So yeah, that's about Plug. We said the EXC we wanted to see before that. Let's check this out real quick. Let me just see how they're truly been doing, because I see some sketchiness right there. Okay. How does your balance sheet look like? So your liabilities to your total assets are declining, so they makes sense. I had a good run, so you obviously you pay for it. That's how it works. What else did I want to see? Nah, I don't care for that too much. What can you tell me about yourself? Right. Okay. So a decent array of partnerships that they're obviously very proud of. Yes, yes, rightfully so. No, no, no. Good, 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 good. I like 999. It's good. It's a good. Uh, yeah. Chicago, IL, Illinois. Well, is that Chicago, Illinois? Yeah, probably. I'm guessing I'm not that great with U.S. geography. I wish I was. I wish I was. I'm very, very ignorant when it comes to US geography. I need many, many more practice. Good, yes, improvement. You, sir, is not looking great with this, but look, so it looks like you are going to have some form of a correction. It's probably not going to be pleasant. It's going to take you a little while there to correct. It does seem like you're not necessarily, it might not necessarily be, it's kind of weird there. I mean, I want to be sure about this. So yeah, here it is. Yeah, so you are. If anything, it looks like you're building up this gigantic flag, which basically you're moving into some sort of a wedge, which means a lot of volatility up and down, and you could be. This could be a very prolonged sort of process for you. And if you're not a trader, you're not going to enjoy this process. And yeah, so you're going to have a correction, steep down, back up, narrow, and it's gonna might even be lower because that's you're gonna put your own overbought territory. Since your energy, you might probably benefit from that. So yeah, you're gonna be fooled to think that it's gonna skyrocket, but even that will be almost in this narrow wedge shaped movement. And if you're not, this is an asset for a trader. Arnon will be all over this thing, right? It's more of a swing thing, if anything. It's not really trade every day, but it's a decent swing sort of play if you know how to play this. It's gonna be an awesome swing play, right? It's not one of those just buy and wait and hold. No, no, no. This is a swing play for professionals. Be very careful from this one. So that is, although energy will give it some push, all that will still keep you within the range, and you are this is a wedge. This is an ugly wedge formation that you're gonna get screwed over by quite a bit if you don't realize that this is more of a swing play. Probably, 6 months ish. No, more. But yeah, every swing will take you like every about the year range, not necessarily 9, 10 months, maybe more, maybe less. But, you need to know how to play this one. It's not for the tame of heart. Alrighty, so we said, what were we? Thoughts on UC? Let's. Why don't we do that thing that we do by taking a look? Oh, that I don't like already. Yeah, I don't like already. I don't like already. That looks like a play that has a lot of potential, but before this is no. So this one is interesting. This one is interesting, right? This one is, look. It depends you how you wish to play it and what your time horizon is. If your time horizon is more to the years out, cool, but still would not be buying now with both hands. In fact, probably going to be holding. I would be maybe getting rid of some, even if I would be planning to hold this for a long time. I would be trying to get rid of some to pick it up on at what would seem to be maybe the fives and the fours, since the price is low, relatively speaking, and you might be looking, years out. Sure, if the price is fine for you, you don't mind seeing that 7 become a 3, right? Sure. I mean, you do you, right? This is not financial advice. If you don't mind the price, remember, it's not about the price as much as if you're going to put 1 million into this and you fall back to the threes, you're basically going to see your play shrink by about 50%, just to keep it straight, right? But at the same time, which by the way, from what I'm seeing, very probable. Like on the grand scheme of things, you might easily be testing threes eventually with this, which is ugly and hard to say. But I'll say this: if you are years out and you don't mind seeing your portfolio shrink, seeing this play shrink 50% from these current levels, you do again, you do you, not financial advice, but it does not look like a bad idea if you are planning to look outwards with this, even with the potential, even with solidarity from the market that will not give you enough to sustain this for long enough. You have too much bearish momentum. All it will do, again, that will be like Nvidia parachuting down. Okay, to give it the best analogy I can, it will be parachuting down. So it's gonna be dropping slow, but yeah, it's gonna. I see this as correcting, but eventually I see this as quite potential, high potential. I'm probably looking right now, to be frank, we're looking about 100% ish, kinda ish, and but we are looking over the range of 3, 4, 5 years, right? So, but we are looking at 100%. So, I mean, in my opinion, that's just an opinion of some crazy dude on the internet, not financial advice. You do you. Um, all right, we've done that. Microsoft downside, but upside. That's not what we saw there. It's upside of 10 and downside of 50, if anything. Right, but look, demand will not save it again. If all the really good companies will basically be parachuting down, meaning it's just not going to be as rapid and as painful, but it will still be what it is. Okay? And those of you, again, I remind you, boys and girls, those of you who don't know how to trade, do not know how to do technical analysis, do not trade. You will fail miserably. Your emotions will start, affecting how you see things, and yeah, that's gonna be bad. So don't. That is not. Oh, diamond. Okay. Wait, we got hot women here? Wait, what are you talking about, Christoph? Like, wait, what? I knew about the food, but this surprising me. Where are all these hot women you're talking about? No, hot women exist everywhere. Intelligent hot women, now that is a rare find, my friend. That information is bearish. Yeah, and I got it. It took me a while to understand what you were referring to. Yeah. Wait. Once the pattern spots are filled, may be closed for a while. Once it reopens, Mama talking about right. Mama talking about the academy. Oh, I got confused there for. Yeah. Academy. Actually, I just got another spot opened up. So I have two spots right now, but I'm gonna be very stingy with these with regards to the times themselves throughout the schedule, throughout the week that can be scheduled for. I have to put in a little more effort into the community and the stuff that I really wanted to do for a while now. So I'm gonna a little bit and adjusting to our general schedule with Tom and the community and everything. So I do have two spots, but I'm gonna be very stingy with them. I'm just gonna be straightforward with you. And yeah, if you want to know more information, just DM me on Discord and we're going to talk. And if you like that, we're going to continue forward from there. There is no way to sign up to the academy, to the Investory Academy, other than directly through me. So the Patreon thing is only $10 a month, and it's not the academy, it's the community. It's a whole different thing. The academy, of course, gives you the community and then some, as you can imagine, right? You don't buy a Mercedes for the price of a Fiat or vice versa. How long it took you to learn technical? Oh my God, Muhammad, that's such a good question. First of all, to keep it in simple, it took me many years, and I was also working in the industry at the same time. And instead of going out and hanging out with my friends on weekends, I was studying very, very hard, day in, day out, weekends and whatnot, basically to death. I was inspired by somebody who was a manager of mine at some point, and he was able to conquer amazing heights. Of course, he did come from a rich family, so he was able to kind of hyper focus on things rather than like myself try to work. But I did find huge benefit in working in the industry at the same time as learning it, because I had, first of all, I was saturated in it almost 24/7. Sleep, eat, go to the bathroom and everything, while sort of, living, breathing the system, if you will. Had access to all the people, the systems, the right questions. I was able to repeat stupid questions again and again and again and again if need be. But it still took me years. And even if you learn something, and you need to backtest it, be sure that it actually makes sense. It took me a long time and many visits through hell. In fact, I've been through hell, through so many hells, and so many times I stopped renting. I straight up bought a house in hell, metaphorically speaking, because the process, it sounds as if it was easy. And now looking back at it, I kind of just tell a quick fun story of how I got to be where I am. It was pure hell. It was pure freaking hell. Did I enjoy it? Yes, because coincidentally, I really enjoyed the industry itself, and I really, really wanted to know at that stage for various reasons. Again, if I'll start breaking down my whole history, but it was not easy, and it took many years. I'm talking years, day in, day out, living, breathing, sleeping the market, you know? So I hope that answered your question. If you want to know more, join us on Discord, and I'll be more than glad. Feel free to ask me the question, right? And I'll be happy to share my experience and how I got to where I am. I don't really keep secrets. I worked for various companies with various people. Some are good, some are bad. Most of them shouldn't even, if you ask me, shouldn't be in the industry. I myself wasn't always all knowing. It took me forever and a bit to learn the stuff I know and test and understand. And yeah, it's not easy. If it was all that easy, everybody would be a professional, if you will. Very good, Mama. Thank you for reminding me. Patreon will be locked soon. So those who are gonna miss out the $10 and then gonna come and say, "Oh, I wanted and this and that," and cry, and I wanted but I didn't, and my cat was stuck in the microwave or whatever. Remember, boys and girls, this is not something, again, we're just human beings, and we need to have the system still. I mean, we still need to, buy food at the end of the month. You don't buy food by, saying I'm that nice and helpful, although it's all very, very cheap, first of all. Second of all, we do input tremendous amounts of money and effort back into the community. It all needs to come from somewhere. Um, you know, but if you really want to support the channel, again, that it just gives sort of, it's a tiny fraction. This is not really where we make our money from. It's not our sort of careers, if you will. I myself am not a professional YouTuber per se. I'm not trying to be an influencer. I'm a dude who analyzes the market, and coincidentally also has a YouTube channel, and I just share my thoughts with my community, with my friends, and so forth, right? The greater it will become, the better it is. And once we do get to certain terminal levels, we end up closing and locking up these Patreons and various, channels of joining and taking services, because we're still human. We can spread our attention that far, that thin, if you will. Nothing that, bro. I'm confused there, Piotr, but uh, no, 90? What is 90? What are we talking 90? Yes, 90. 19 that, bro. Okay. How long it took you to reset that? Okay, I saw this today. I ran preparing major. Yes, I'm gonna reveal to you a little secret, Michael. I saw my brother informed me. He has his connections and stuff. My younger brother. I have just one. He, like myself, served in the military, has connections, and quite a bright person who I trust with his knowledge and opinions. And he shared with me that the information he got is that it's very probable that we're going to be attacked on the 4th, which is, if I understand it, for the election is on the 5th, we're going to be probably attacked on the 4th. It's very, very probable. Um, and yeah, I am kind of preparing and getting ready for the 4th. I have a bunch of water prepared in the bunker, if you will, a bunch of food and stuff. Uh, you know, um everything we need, everything we can get ready and prepare for just in case. Yes, I know. I'm watching it. Thank you. Um, so yes, we are prepared. Michael, thank you for reminding me about that. We are getting ready for a major retaliatory attack by Iran, which is, I don't know why we keep on calling that retaliatory. They started it. Jews are the indigenous people. I'm so tired of saying it. Know your history. Judaism and Jewish people existed in the Middle East before Islam was ever in existence, thousands of years ahead. I'm not saying we were the first ones. Evidence showed the Sumerians were here first. In fact, the Jews were the ones to inherit their culture and knowledge and all sorts of things. In fact, the Sumerians were kind of swallowed, Shomronim, into the Jewish culture, the tribes. You can actually look it up on the internet. It's all out there. It's not hidden. So the Jewish people are the indigenous people. And this whole play of, no, this is, first of all, come and visit, see how apartheid, or so-called apartheid it is, because it's not. Arab people here, in most instances, they have better benefits and conditions than most Jewish Israeli people here in Israel. They serve in the military and in the government and healthcare everywhere. They're equal in rights, and like I said, have certain benefits we don't. So you call that apartheid, you have no idea what you're talking about. That is about that, and it's kind of unfair, and we're tired. We're tired of playing this game. We value every life. In fact, it's sad that a lot of times, you guys think the Iranian rockets can tell the difference between a Jewish forehead to an Arab forehead? Nope, it doesn't. In fact, sadly, because a lot of the Arab settlements and locales are on the border and thus have less time to run to the shelter, ended up being actually hit, and people died to fragmentation, injuries, and also all sorts of horrible terrorist attacks and whatnot. The violence in the Arab community against the normal Arab Israeli community is horrible. They are regular people. They wake up in the morning, want to have a nice life. Those who are religious, those who are gay. No one cares. Israel is an open country, very democratic. And what we're getting from Iran, the Houthis, and everything around here, and Lebanon, this is if you criticize us without ever being here and truly understanding the history, I'm not going to get offended if you'll block my channel and never show up here. I'm not going to get offended, honestly. It's not going to hurt me. You hurt yourself with the lack of knowledge. That's all I'm going to say. The information is out there. All you need to do is be able to Google it. So I'm kind of horrified by what's going on, and it's probably going to happen. So Michael, thank you for reminding me to talk about this a little bit. I'm not trying to be a political channel here, nor do I want to focus on these things, but it is the sad existential reality we Israelis are in. Okay, so preparing for a major retaliatory strike from Iraq within days. Israel intel suggests stay safe. Yes, Michael, as we said, thank you very much. I had to finish reading your comment there, so thank you. 100%. Don't expect no retaliation for that barbaric behavior. When it happens, guys, you prepare oil, as Ori said. Ori told you openly, if they're gonna do that, we're gonna show them we mean business. We're gonna attack their oil infrastructure, which will affect oil prices, which will affect the rest of the market, will ignite fears and everything. So, boys and girls, I told you, a lot of the potential breakdown and actual damage to the market might come from oil. We spoke about these things. I mean, none of this should be surprising, especially to you, those who hang out in the channel with me and do watch and understand that I'm not just talking out of my ass here. So Oh my god, it's gonna be so great. I might need to make it into a shirt. The whole helmet thing. You know, Christoph, you're such a legend, bro. You're a real brother. Christoph here, and nannies are our moderators on Discord. Both legendary human beings. I imagine they go through a lot of headache dealing with the stuff they need to and helping in the community. And I want to thank you both tremendously because I do not see your side of things, but I imagine you hear a lot of noises from the Discord all the time, and all the headache with showing up for all the meetings and this and that. Guys, first of all, don't remember you're not obligated to do none of this stuff, but I value this in a way that I cannot describe in words from the core of my soul, because the bottom of my heart sounds not great. From the core of my soul, boys and girls, thank you. You're both amazing. Nannies and Christoph, much love, hugs, and you're just me. Great. You're a great crew. Alrighty. Small nuclear reactor companies are, yeah, I mean, next level. Come and join us. We talk about this quite a bit. Yes, it has a lot of potential, but we have people like Alan who understand this technology a lot better and far in depth, and we're not the professionals. And when Alan speaks about these things, it seems like we're far, far, far away from what we imagine to be happening tomorrow. It's Oklo, you see, everybody. No, no, no. Piotr, and next level. Both of you guys, you are not allowed to ask about uranium plays anymore if you don't show up to the Discord. You hang out with me, Alan. Alan is very smart, very knowledgeable, has the technical knowledge and know-how when it comes to these sort of batteries and technologies and the uranium tech in general, right? The sphere of tech. He knows electricity a lot better than I do, right? And I would recommend for you guys, so when we combine the knowledge of the market, somebody who's proficient and knowledgeable with these sectors, personally, we get an advantage. And this is why the community is so good. So Piotr and Next Level, from now on, both of you are not allowed to ask about uranium plays unless you show up on Discord, hang out with us, open your microphones, ask questions, and we're all going to have a blast. First of all, it's going to be tremendous fun. I'm absolutely sure of it. But you are not allowed until you don't do that. That's it. That is from now on, you guys have a condition. You don't do that, not allowed to ask questions about uranium. It is what it is. Next level, you have a backlog with questions with me to deal with. What is this? Next level. You're either full-fledged proper member. We don't half-ass here. We don't even half-ass this. Come on. Come on, boys and girls. I expect you to be serious. Much love, Piotr. Much love. But seriously, show up. We're going to have a great call, great hangout. It's a great topic to discuss. Oftentimes we sit there quietly and there's no, topic at hand. And if you guys will show up, we're going to have a great topic, great discussion. I would love it. Look into OTEC. It may be possible to get a cheap hydrogen. Michael. Michael, is that something you want us to take a look at right now, or is that like we're talking in general for me to take a look at later down the line? We're going to OTC. I like most of. That's my problem. I have a bit of a problem here, a little bit. Does it have a Nasdaq derivative? If so, let me know. Oh, I didn't understand you. Okay, I see. OTC. Then Michael, you too. Why are you telling me this? You say I'm a retard. You show up and you tell us what to look at, send us in the right direction. You know what happens here when you write things like this, where we see this as stickers, or we said no long. There are there's things that are not allowed here, acronyms, because we end up reading them and thinking they're tickers, right? Only acronym that you're allowed to use here is LOL. That's it. LOL we're allowed to use, and ROFL, rolling on my. Rolling on my ass laughing. Tom is starting. Shit. Wait, you mean, wait. What do we have? Thursday. What, we have a meeting now? Am I a moron? Yes, I'm probably a moron. I probably missed. Yes, we are Zoom meeting. Boys and girls, see you on the Zoom call. Bye bye bye. I completely got carried away. Yeah. Alrighty. Bye 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 bye. See you all on the Zoom call. Bye bye.